Now we're going to look at creating that column, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to take one of these panels and then place a column in it that we can make visible or invisible depending on a parameter that we set for it. So we're going to jump over to our panel. We're in the left-hand view. Our column is going to kind of fill this whole space so it looks like it's a continuous element when we put one on top of the other. And we're going to do that by creating a extrusion. And we're going to go from the very top edge here. Oops, and I always grab the wrong tool. I want to grab the rectangle tool, come down all the way to this bottom edge here, to the face of that. And I want to lock all of these off so that they behave parametrically. And we could actually, it's already got assigned a color one to it. I don't know if yours is, but check it there so that you don't have to go back and do that. And let's look at that from the exterior view now. And it's that one same 1/4 inch glass like we made. I'm going to pull this over until it touches the reference line. And I'm going to click the lockbox. Make sure you don't hit the dimension like I just did. I'm going to undo that and try that again. So I'm going to grab that extrusion. Oops. Hold on, let me cancel out of that error. Let me grab this extrusion again, or try to. Sometimes I jump over to the other screen. Let me grab that. I'm going to pull this back until it touches that line. And I'm going to zoom in really close. I want to make sure I don't hit that dimension line to make it rigid. I just want to click the lockbox. And we'll move over to the other side and do the same thing. Catch that reference line. Oops, and I've missed it. There we go. Actually, yeah, we're good. And I'll click the lockbox. And now we can check to make sure it's going to behave parametrically. And it looks good. So let's go ahead and load that into the, well, let's actually save it. And then load it into the project. Overwrite the existing version. Let's look at this in the 3D view. Now we have that solid panel, and obviously we don't want that. So what we need to do is make it visible or invisible. So I'm going to go back to this again, and we're going to create a new pattern for, or excuse me, a new visibility element for this. So I can select this, and I'm going to go up here and click on this. Oops, not this box, wrong box. This one below it. That allows us to create these new parameters. I'm going to create, so it's the properties, the family types. I'm going to create a new parameter. I'm going to call it column. And the discipline can be common. I want it to be, it must be an instance parameter. I want to just be able to change them individually. I'm going to make this a yes or no answer. And I'm going to make sure it is about visibility. So make sure you set all those things up properly. And we'll click OK. And you notice we now have this comment column. The default has a check mark on it, which means it's visible. I'm going to uncheck that and click OK. So now I have the ability to turn that column on and off. Now I'm going to go to the column itself, and I'm going to click on the visible, and I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select column, and click OK. And now I'll once again save that. And we'll load that back into the project. Overwrite our existing versions. And now since I've hid that, when I go to the 3D view, we shouldn't see columns all over the place. So let's say we want to turn some columns on though. What I'm going to do is roll over until I select the curtain wall, then hit the tab and select one of these. Then I'm going to right click on it carefully. And I'm going to select panels along the vertical grid. I'm going to unlock, well, actually, I may not need to unlock these. I'm going to select visible for all of those and hit apply. And now I have a column in that place also. And I'll just do one more. So I'll come over, let's say 3 windows, 3 bays, and go to the 4th bay, and then just tab in here. Select all, select panels along the vertical grid and turn the column on. And now we have that idea. And now this is actually one of the things that happens. The other grid disappears. It's really still there. It's really just been lost in the view. If I was to, let's say, rotate this, it doesn't appear. But if let's close this view off. And then I'll try to open it up again. There it is back again. So it is it's kind of an error in the way the system or the graphics card works. It kind of loses the one panel system. So there we have the column system that we can add. It's got a hierarchy to it. So you'll notice that this shallow spandrel is below it, kind of like we did with the brickwork. And our baguettes are still running across the face, kind of creating another level of kind of texture and visual interest. And those could be ordered in any way you wanted, but that's just the start of the power of this kind of a tool. So I'm going to grab the top of the wall and I'm going to actually pull it up. And you'll notice that that column continues up. So no matter what we do with the height of the wall, we're going to automatically be able to adjust for that also. So we'll look at putting this together into some kind of a presentation sheet next.